Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update of our Urban Worm Bag version 2 with the European Nightcrawlers in it. It's been a while since I've done an update, but it's been doing well. I haven't been checking on it. I've added some food, added some bedding, but let's go and do a deep dive here and see how it really looks inside and how they're doing on as far as consuming this food, and maybe they need a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. So let's go to the bin and take a look. All right, so here's our bin, and let's open it up here and take a look. See how this is doing. Quite a bit of moisture on top here. Looks like it's actually growing a little bit of mold here on the top, some sort of fungus or something. I am seeing, let's just see here, I don't know if you can see these real quick, but there are some mites in here still, some red mites, which are fine. So lots of worms on the sides here. I've added recently some more cardboard. I'm trying to dry this out a little bit. Let's just dig in here. I've added food, I know. All right, we can see the food down here. Move this out of the way a little bit more. You can see the food right down here. So right here we have some food. This is a mush of food. It was all ground up already. I don't see any worms by it though at all. It's kind of worrisome. Just kind of dig in here a little bit, see how it looks. I'm not seeing many worms in here. There's one. Seems like a lot of them are on the sides though. Here's our box again. It's now starting to rip apart pretty well. Oh, okay, here we go. This is some food that I also added over here. It does appear there's some worms over here at least. So there's some worms in the bin, but just not nearly as many. A lot of them are on the sides here. Just kind of dig in here a little bit. Very moist. Probably gonna have to add a little bit more bedding. Okay, here's a big clump of worms now. So it looks like a lot of them are in this area. You can see that it's all moving now. So this is where the worms have gone, is to this food source over here. They left the other one alone. There is a little bit too much food in here probably for these worms, and I'll have to start cutting back on the feeding a little bit. I might need, because of the way it's moist in here, lots of moisture on the sides, might need to add a little bit more dry paper, although it might be fine. I mean, this is, I don't think I'm going to get anything out of this if I squeeze it. I mean, maybe it just needs to be mixed up a little bit more. So, mix it up a little bit here. As you get near the bottom here, this is part of that pizza box again. It's pretty much gone. Looks like this is starting to break down pretty well inside of here. So as you can see, lots of castings in there. Whoops. Let's not have any of these guys fall out. Lots of castings in here, some worms in the bottom. Still a lot of cardboard that's sort of mixed in, but it'll work its way through eventually. You know, other than the mites, I'm not seeing any other bugs in here or anything like that, so it's working pretty well as far as keeping the other critters out. Let's just see. Same thing over here. It looks like this is starting to break down pretty well. Cardboard definitely is. Some worms still working on it. So, fluff this up a little bit here. So as you can see, just to show everybody here, like you can see that the cardboard still looks pretty solid. So really what they're working on is they're really just working on the food in here. They're not really working on that cardboard yet, like I was sort of hoping they would. So, and all the food I've been adding in here has pretty much been ground up. It's not whole food. Most of the food I've added, like as you can tell from the mush that we saw before, it's actually coming out of my my juicer. There you go. You can tell right here. Lots of big worms in here, big fat worm right here, as you can see. There's a few others squirming down in here, but this food is just, it's all mush. So it should be very easy and quick to consume when they find it. So we're just going to kind of bury that back in. I don't think I need any more food. I thought I would at first, but I think I'm going to leave it as it is. I don't want to add too much, but I might add a little bit more cardboard just to keep raising the bin. These worms do like a lot more space than some of the other worms. So I'm going to add a little bit more cardboard in here. Just a small layer. Make sure that we keep the bedding in here a little bit fresh. That way it'll kind of dry it out a little bit, and that way as I continue to add more stuff during the week, it'll hopefully go. Actually, the other thing I'm going to add here a little bit of is some crushed eggshell. So I have here in a coffee can, I have some crushed eggshell. And just so everyone remembers, you're not supposed to breathe this stuff in. I'm just going to add a whole bunch here to the top. It'll get mixed in, it'll get wet, it'll settle in there. It's going to come out, they don't really consume that. It can act as a grit though to sort of help them. And it'll just sort of stay in here and it'll just slowly dissolve in a little bit, but you'll still be able to find that in your finished castings typically. So this still isn't ready to harvest. I might have to start adding maybe some more food later, but there's slowly, they were working much faster before. They seem to have slowed down a little bit on the food. So I don't know if it's a too much moisture thing, not enough moisture thing, or what, but I mean, you can see how big these worms are. Hold on, let me just pull this guy off. I mean, you can see how big these worms are though. I mean, they're really big worms. You know, much bigger than the red wrigglers that I have. So, but we're going to keep, I'm going to keep this bin going. There are a lot on the sides here. Hopefully they'll go back down in here. Hopefully there's enough food for them and everything. I know that it's been raining a lot, and I have to say I've noticed that they wander a lot more when it's raining. And even today it's pouring outside right now, and I've noticed that they start crawling up the sides more when it rains, when I've opened it up to add food. So it might be something where maybe I need to, I don't think I can control the weather, but I think maybe I need to slow down on the food a little bit, and then also just maybe I'm hoping this crushed eggshell will help them a little bit too. So we'll see. So far it's working really well. This bin is doing a great job at containing them. European Nightcrawlers have a tendency to wander, as you can tell by them going up the sides and everything. Not as bad as maybe some other worms, but they do have a tendency to wander more so than the red worms. So this is working really well to keep them contained, and I do love this double zipper part right here, so that way I can have it on this side over here, just like this, and that way I don't always have to come to this side like on the old one. So I do like the way this bag is working right now, and it seems to be working really well for these worms. Hopefully they'll start consuming a little bit more food so we can feed them more, although I have been feeding them in between my videos. It hasn't just been empty. So I don't know if you can see over here, but there actually is one of the mites on there. There's a couple of them on here, but you know, they're harmless for these types at least. So thank you. That's my update for my Urban Worm Bag version 2.0. Please like and subscribe to my videos. Thank you.